have Sister Elizabeth patiently waiting. I'll take few more minutes and introduce her. She is not new to our group here, but I need to speak a few words and as always, a poem for her as well. So let me just pull this out here. Yeah. So Sister Elizabeth is actually practicing Raj Yoga since almost 40 years now. And she serves at the Brahma Kumari's Anubhuti Meditation and Retreat Center, which is in the northern area of San Francisco. All of us know that she's a gifted actor and singer, and she was trained at the American Conservatory Theater, and she has toured with a one-woman performance called Songs of My Soul. And we really love the melodious songs which she sings, and she also has been trained as a facilitator, and she's instrumental in designing and facilitating a lot of retreats and seminars and workshops for personal development at the Anubhuti. And she also co-leads the BK's environmental initiative in the US. So that's in brief about her. And as always, a poem on hope and for her as well. So today, Sister Elizabeth shall share her wisdom on how to be hopeful and teach us the technique of how always to be cheerful as she is, so that we stop blaming oneself and stop feeling awful on this life journey where people can always seem very, very lawful. But the divine supreme being, my eternal parent, is indeed so loveful. And through his divine wisdom, he makes us feel very knowledgeful, so that to face any circumstance in life, I become very powerful. He showers upon me his blessings, which are indeed so bountiful, which give me so much relief and make me feel indeed blissful. And finally, convert my peaceless mind into something very, very peaceful. So with this, over to Sister Elizabeth. And thank you so much for being with us right from the beginning of the workshop, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Dr. Manoj Bhai. I really enjoyed it. And I had even more insights on this topic of hope. It's at face value, when you hear the word hope, you almost think it isn't even a virtue. I didn't give this virtue much credit, actually, until I dove into it. So thank you for giving me this topic. It's been an interesting journey. I found it to be very uplifting for this soul. And I'm sure that all of you being on these value-based programs, you have that hope for the world and you have that care and concern. But of course, as you know, before we can give to others, we need to focus on ourselves. So I'd like to almost guide you in a commentary to just reflect for a moment, to slow down the brain and open up the heart to this hopefulness, to be a light of hope. And having that hope for myself. And in that, as Baba says, I become a lamp of success. So lighting the lamp of hope within, based on that faith that I am a child of God. So I take in a nice deep breath of fresh air, light that flame of awareness, detach and be the observer. I am a lamp of hope a lit lamp of soul consciousness. And I become calm. This is my true nature, my original nature.
నా అసలైన స్వరూపము.
I'm loving and peaceful.
నేను చాలా ప్రేమగా శాంతి స్వరూపంగా ఉన్నాను.
I think we're getting translation in Tamil.
It's Telugu. Okay, give me a
Telugu, sorry.
because I think she was knocked off of the session, so I'll just enter. Sorry about
It's all right. It's beautiful language and appropriate as we light our lamp and not be dismayed by my own mistakes or the traits that I want to dissolve within the self. It's all part of the process. Otherwise, I will cover it up and not expose my light to God and that opportunity to melt away the old negative traits. So by being a light of hope, a light of awareness, I'm igniting that intimate potential, that seed then begins to germinate of my original qualities of love and joy and peace. I am not my mistakes. I am not my story. I am God's child. The most powerful being, the highest on high. And as the child, I am also a powerful being of hope, a lit lamp. And this being protects the soul. The Supreme Father has my back. I am protected. He will guide me. And when I remain lit, my path is illuminated. And I can take my steps forward by being this lamp of hope for the self. I am a light of hope for the world. I simply just light the flame of awareness. And aware of the one whom I belong to and who belongs to me. I'm in his company as my mother, my father, my friend. I am never alone. And this love, this bond is the soul's success. So simple. And it makes me believe in myself. It's not even a belief, it's a knowing, to know myself as I am, whole and holy, complete. And so this seed of awareness in God's company germinates, blossoms, grows. And that hope becomes an inspiration for others who are hopeless. I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky to be a child of God and to know it and to experience it and to move with it and transform with this love from the Supreme Being that awakens the awareness that all are children of that Supreme. Shanti. This mindset of gratitude, it really helps the soul stay in that awareness, right? To be soul conscious, to be in that appreciation. It's as if my bowl, the bowl of opportunity, like the Buddha bowl, right? Whatever comes into my bowl that day, I am grateful, and to appreciate how it even, that opportunity came into my bowl. And so this opportunity that comes every day, even if it comes in a lesson or a painful lesson, the pain is removed when I have that vision of gratitude. Just the other day, a challenge came to this soul, which I'm sure all of you can relate to, where you have a project and one of the main instruments is not able to carry on with the task, which means more burden on me. And I stopped myself and I breathed with it. And I said, you know, this is not my task. This is Baba's task. This is God's task. And thank you for this opportunity, this situation, to remind me. And I felt so powerful in that moment. It triggered so many old sense scars. It's like they popped their little heads out of every little corner. And it almost feels overwhelming. In that little moment, it's just waste thoughts. And simply by saying thank you for this opportunity, they dissipated. Like that's the lamp. It lit the room and the darkness was dispelled. So this gratitude, this lamp of hope, allows me to be an image of hope that I can be for others, and to really see myself as that victorious soul in every moment, in every breath, and that it's an opportunity. It's not that hope is just you're at the edge of a precipice and I hope I don't fall or slip. No, 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 no. Being an image of hope is that I am that victorious soul. And I've been successful before, and I will be successful again. And this appreciation allows the experience of that eternal quality of success to reemerge. And also that experience of being eternally loving, a bestower. I often wonder, what does a punya atma mean? A benevolent soul, a karmically just soul. It's like you claim rights. And that image of being a punya atma, a generous-hearted soul, that my every thought and every person that I meet is my opportunity to overcome hopelessness. And I loved what was shared earlier, that even the weaknesses of others instead of having a scornful eye, wait a minute, this is my opportunity. Because as much as I'm irritated, wouldn't you think as much as I'm irritated, that much disturbance means that perhaps I need to reflect on that same defect within me? If someone's angry, oh, how can they be so angry? But again, not to be hard on the self, but this lovely quality of being thankful and appreciating the moment, it allows me, with that lamp of hope for the self, I then have a different take on that opportunity, that defect. Because as you know, behind every defect is one of these values, one of these virtues. It's just morphed as we went through each age into and become perverse, basically. And so again, an opportunity has come, it irritates. And instead of having a scornful attitude or how dare they, or, but say thank you and just sit calmly with the Supreme Being who fulfills all hopes and listen for that opportunity of transformation of the soul. And Baba, the one who fulfills the hopes of every single soul, he wants that from us. He wants us to be equal to him. And when you think about it, there's a voice in my head that says, wait a minute, how can I match that energy? But if I want to fulfill my Father's hopes, I have to wear that hat. I have to, it's not a have to, it's almost let Baba do it through me. So when I become dismayed or hopeless or disheartened, my Buddha bowl gets turned upside down. And I'll do this, this can't be happening. How can this happen? No, wait a minute. Yes, yes, yes. This is supposed to happen. That's, for me, for this soul, the threshold into allowing myself to be a portal for God's light to shine through my heart, clean my heart, clear my mind, so that I have a single thought of just being a lamp of hope for others. And so I guess that means I have to be constantly ignited, a constantly lit lamp. And one thought that really, in the day when we had personal meetings with Baba, I was brand new. One of the first meetings when I first came to Madhuban, and just that look, that those personal meetings, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for each and every soul. And I was like amazed how he gave so much love to each and every one. I felt as though Baba could gobble up each one, like he couldn't get enough of each child. And that soul just blossomed. And even as I was listening to Baba giving that sweet exchange to every soul that sat in front of him, a little jealousy started to emerge in the soul. Well, wait a minute, he said that to me. Oh, well, hey, I'm over here, like, how could you give so much love to this one? I started to get jealous. And just as that jealousy thermometer was ready to burst, the soul had the realization, oh my God, you are God. It really, even in that disturbance, how that brought an opportunity to realize, to shed that armor and be open and vulnerable to this realization of who it is that I belong to and the task that he is asking of me and of all of us. And to imagine that relationship with Baba, that he can't get enough of me. He can't wait to meet me and be with me and to shine his light through this child, through the soul, and be that lamp for all his children. So his hope in us is to be equal in that love and light and effort, to become equal to him. As if he was longing, as well as the child is longing for that love with God. It's like quenching that thirst for the soul to be truly loved. I am the loved child in love with the beloved. And this is the spiritual love that is limitless. And the proof of this love is by bringing this union of the child and the Supreme Being, bringing this union into every moment. And that's the challenge, as some of you had shared. But to witness that in your life, to practically witness God's, this is wellness, but how his alchemy of the soul, that this love, how it transforms and affects every part of our lives and motivates us and inspires those that observe us. So this is such a great fortune that we have, such an elevated fortune, that the Father changes us from souls who have no hope into souls who have so much hope, are so hopeful, and to finish any type of hopelessness. It's as if when a situation pulls your plug, that's the metaphor that I have, like you're vacuuming and you knock something over and it pulls the plug of the vacuum and then it loses right there in an instant. You didn't even know you had that trigger. And again, letting that be an opportunity. Okay, all right, it's okay. What does the soul really need in this moment? And to plug myself back in with Baba and to let there not be any disheartenment. Every moment is moving me forward, every situation, every challenge. And it could be in the form of lust or greed or anger or fear. That's the culprit. Fear that's the opposite, right, of love, as you know. That's what separates us. And so this feeling of our plug being pulled, if we go into victimhood, right? this world is doing it to me, or you make me unhappy. You done me wrong. Intellectually, we know, wait a minute, I'm finishing my karmic accounts. We have all the knowledge, but in that moment, my plug is been pulled. And now in the dark, I have to find the outlet, right? And put it back in. And if I'm groping around, I could, hurt myself. But when I turn on the light of hope, awareness, soul consciousness, and feel that embrace from my beloved Baba, it's no big deal. I plug it back in. And I'm successful. And of course, it's faith. And with time, we develop that faith. When we're new, when we come new to anything, that romantic period, right? We have so much faith. However, a lot of it can be superficial or based on external factors, And we realize that I have to let go of even my titles, even my specialties, even my gifts, my God-given talents. I have to let all of them go, all of them go. And that's the journey. And when I let them go, that is in the sense of ego, that identification that this is me, then God can use them. And so when a situation happens, it's usually because I feel that it's ego, that I'm holding on to something that I feel gives me credibility in the world. And when you look at the dadis, you feel that you trust them, that you could tell them your whole life story. And why is that? Because they want nothing. Their chit is so clean and clear. They look you right in the eye and you just see acceptance. You witness acceptance. Because they have done the work, they totally accept themselves, and they have let go of all of these false identities. It's as if, yes, I'm a lamp of hope, but the glass around that lamp, if the old English lamps, right, where it has panes of glass around it, but each pane of glass is clean and clear. You can see right through to the core of that being. And that being is this translucent beacon of light, a channel of God's light. And so in this process of being an image of hope, this idea that comes to mind that, wow, the more I let go, the more intimate I can be with the Supreme Being. And the more knowledgeable I am, then the more I am aware and awake. So this lovely balance of heart and head. So for me to go ahead and transform any type of hopelessness into hope, where my faith is totally unbroken, and that masthead of victory is constant, that I have that flag of victory constantly with me. And the moment I say why, it's like deflated. The flag goes at half mast. My flag of victory comes down. Why, how come, what, shouldn't, couldn't. So for those who have hope, who they are the ones who are victorious and can transform any situation into a hopeful, positive outcome. And that's that relationship with the self and with God. And Baba having that hope in us to be detached, to not be affected, and to constantly have that link with him, to be that companion with him, to be equal with him. And next is this wonderful relationship with the family, that there's always good wishes for everyone, and that no matter what their part is, whether they are fearful, because usually they're symptomatic in the sense of a spiritual clinician point of view, when people are symptomatic and exhibit these negative qualities and opt to go for fear or anger or greed or attachment, it's because there is that fear. And when there is fear, humans can perform, very severe, and you see it in the world. And people create these stories, these narratives that they identify with the story, and these narratives just snowball and grow and create this field of fear, and people succumb to that. And so to eradicate that, I cannot buy into that story or into that fear. I have to be detached and observe when in the world more and more peacelessness is happening. And I find myself, because I'm an advocate, my nature is to be an advocate, and I had to really make peace with that, because I found that advocacy in the sense of calling out for injustice, this cannot be done, it only acerbates the situation. And I found that I even became more of the very thing that I was against. I became more angry, or I became more greedy, or I became more attached by pointing out the weaknesses in the other. How could they be doing this? So I realized even in the environmental field, I've sort of stepped back from the environmental service. I'm still very much involved in explaining to people about the environment and so on, but not to advocate, because I found myself being really upset and irritated and at the ignorance of humanity in the whole. And this was a good lesson for me, to not be dismayed, that it's all part of what has to happen. This sort of falling away of the old paradigm of the Iron Age. And in that falling away, this is the opportunity of being that lamp of hope for others, that even in their state of fear and being symptomatic of all those negative tendencies and qualities, that I have mercy and compassion. And this is what keeps my lamp of hope for others burning. And when I stay in that state of being that flame, then I remain connected with Baba, when I go to judgmental mode and advocate and go against, then I'm being consumed by the negativity, and I will become hopeless. So it's interesting. It's sort of a field of energy where the negativity at one end is growing, but then also the light is also growing. But this negativity, as it devours itself, the true life of each and every soul will be looking for that sincere light that's actually within them. And being a lamp of hope, they will be drawn to that light. And I can experiment just with my relationships and prove it to myself. When I'm gentle with others, when I can have my boundaries, but the boundaries are there, but I am gentle, calm, and clear. And I still see the potential of that other, of the soul. So this observer mode that Baba talks about, to be detached, takes on a new dimension for me. It's detached, yes, from the world, and even detached from that mechanism of hopelessness and negativity that can begin in the soul. And just be the observer. Oh, there it goes again. Okay, switch on the light. And not to be dismayed, not to allow my plug to be pulled. And that I just keep that link with Baba. It's this, I think this negative doubt and fear and this hopelessness that we might have for ourselves, that's what keeps us from having that constant flame burning, any negative or waste thought. How many times Baba has to tell us, remember me, because we deviate from that and entertain waste thinking. So I take comfort in this process now. Before it was work, it was a job, but now understanding what Baba wants from me as a lamp of hope, I find comfort. And I feel that it's changed my relationships with others in this role of responsibilities. And I feel I have that ability to respond in such a way now where I'm more tentative or sensitive to the needs of others and not buying in to their stories that victimize them, but continue to see their potential. And that becomes a bridge for them. By seeing them in their good light, to see them as a lamp of hope. You know, that when they overcome their situation, they will be an example for others and help others. And by seeing that in them, they can cross that bridge. But by saying, oh, you will never amount to anything, or why are you doing this now, or how come this is happening to me, then the bridge is if I had exploded the bridge. I can't get across. So I want to accumulate those positive and good wishes for others, because it awakens and will eradicate whatever negativity I have within me that may be resonating with their negativity. And again, come back to that detached and loving, that I'm not affected. And I know for those of you who are doctors or clinicians of any kind, you have to put on gloves to protect yourself, right? And the right dress to maintain a sterile environment. And so to be detached, to be the observer, and enjoy the process with Baba in becoming this beacon for the world. And then I'm not affected by the struggles of the world. I'm not affected by the unfolding and the imploding of the old paradigm, which is hard to witness. We're ancestor souls. We've been holding this family together for how many births? The world family, the global family. And now in this birth, Baba wants us to let go and be that shining lamp for the world. It's different feeling. But in that, I'll be able to identify clearly how I can help, how I can empower other souls and link them to the Supreme Being, to link them to Baba. So I don't know how we're doing on time, Dr. Manoj. These are just some thoughts that I explored and experimented with. Where are we with time? Because of the time difference.
The time is perfect, don't worry. It's just 5 more minutes we have. We'll take a question, a couple of questions. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So someone is asking that I'm very depressed and feeling very low, and I feel very hopeless about my life. But listening to all these things about me being a child of God, it sounds very good, but I'm not able to come out of that vicious cycle of hopelessness, depression, and feeling low. So can you please help me what to do? What should be the first step to take to come out of this depression and hopelessness? Yeah.
Well, thank you for even asking this question and for even recognizing that you're in a state of hopelessness. You recognize that. And I find that what helps this soul is to be of service by helping others. Find an occupation for yourself, whether it's volunteering somewhere in some capacity, or helping someone, and just be of service to someone. And you need to, what happens when we become depressed or feel you're in a stagnant place? Hopelessness is taken over, right? And I think any of us can share with you in that experience. And that's what actually drew us to Baba, and why we are still with Baba is because he keeps on opening these stuck places within us, illuminating us, right? So to get the flow back, like with any kind of healing, mental healing or physical healing, if there's an ailment, it means the energy is stuck. So to start the flow, start serving, be open to others and help others, get involved, open the doors of your heart and mind, and reach out to others that need help. And that way it starts that flow. And then, of course, a practice. I don't know how often you read them early, or if you, I don't know, everybody's different in this class. Are they all on Murli, the class?
No,
Are they-
no, they are not on Murli. There are many non-BK. I mean, many of them are new. Though they understand Murli and all that, but none of them are very regular. There are a few BKs around, but there are quite a few non-BKs also.
Okay. It doesn't matter. But to have some wisdom that you digest every day and meditation every day, because we need a jump start. I hope that's helpful to be of service, to be exposed to some wisdom every day. You need fresh food for the mind every day, and to be tuned in to that pure power of the divine, of God, who we fondly call Baba, and to see myself as God sees me, to entertain that experience.
Okay, wonderful. That was really a very beautiful answer and a very practical one, to be of some service to others. Let's try to get rid of that
Mhm.
hopelessness inside. Try to do some service for others in whatever way you can, and it will help. It will ignite the flame of hope inside. Yes. And okay, fine. There are some comments. It's okay. There are no questions. I'll now invite our seniors with us. We have Dr. Ashok Mehta. So to propose the vote of thanks, over to you, Dr. Mehta. Thank you.
Om Shanti, Elizabeth ma'am.
Om Shanti.
So beautiful. Everything that you said was so hopeful. Everything was full of hope. And I think the last part which you said was very good, which I like very much. Be detached, be observer, be the witness, let go, be a shining star. I think Baba's knowledge is everything is only hope. There's nothing else except the hope. I work in a field of oncology, the cancer. And so, this is a problem that we face every day. Everyone has the same question. Why me? And they feel very hopeless that they are suffering from a disease. And we have to give them hope all the time that everything will be fine, be positive. I think our knowledge helps tremendously in being full of hope. Baba says that this is the best time to have met him, because it's going to take away all our weaknesses, all our negativities, and make us fit to become the godly students, the godly knowledge that we acquire. I think you have brought it in a very sharp focus, in a very, very gentle way. Your very pleasant way of presenting, I think, was superb. Hope is something that we can never lose ever in our life. There may be times when there are challenges of Maya. There will be problems, there will be issues. I think each one of us face every day. And every day, I think we are on trial, whether we have benefited by being a godly student and receiving the immense knowledge of hope that we can put into practice. I appreciate the way you brought in sharp focus everything that's Baba has taught us, Baba has been telling us, and I think we really enjoyed. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Ben. And you are like your whole presentation, or your personality is that of hope, which is Baba says that it is through your face and your facial expressions that you say a lot. I think this is what you're an embodiment of hope. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Om Shanti. Thank you, everyone. And all my lovely brothers and sisters, thank you so much for this chance to share at this time of year. The long nights of darkness will be dispelled. Okay.
Thank
And
you
thank-
so much, Dr. Mehta. Yeah, and thank you, Sister Elizabeth. Yeah, we are not letting you go a few more minutes with you before we go ahead. We'll be having the closing meditation as well. And before I give it to Sister Anu for the final Thanksgiving and also for the photograph, let me just share the screen and make a few announcements. As all of you know, there are quite a few spiritual Brahma Kumari regular follower students here as well. So the coming month, the coming year, the year of January and the month of January is like a very powerful month for all of us, taking us into this mode of doing a lot of meditation, trying to enhance our tapasya, what we call. So let's move on to what January has to offer. So we are on the episode 81. We are very lucky and very fortunate to have Sister Jayanti. She's joining us again now after 1 year. Exactly last year, she was there on solitude she covered. This time, you know, it's the Avyak month in January. So we cover such values which help us in making our effort go to a very higher level, a higher stage, so that we become perfect and complete very soon. We are hopeful of that, obviously. So we have chosen two values in the January month: stability, called sthirta in Hindi, and regularity. So since we have Dr. Mehta also with us, Dr. Mehta will be covering, just to break out the news for you, he'll be covering along with Sister Jena on regularity in the second half of January. And the first half of January, Sister Jayanti will be speaking first during the talk on stability. And followed by that, the next weekend would be, rather the next day would be the silence retreat on stability. Again, we have got 2 silence retreats in January for all of you to help you enhance your yoga and whatever effort we like to do in the month of January. And after that, we have our another dear brother, Brother Yogesh from Turkey. He'll be with us for the workshop on stability, the Sunday following after that, that is 13 Jan. And this is our elegant calendar, thanks to Sister Kosha for sharing with us. And as you can see in the blue, we have 2 silence retreats. So one on stability and the other on regularity. We'll be sending, we have quite a few new entrants, almost 7 to 8 new participants today. We'll be sending you all the links, and these are our websites. Please feel free to visit them. These are our email addresses as well. And all these are recorded on YouTube, so feel free to see them on the links which are mentioned below. And also please share your comments and feedback in the ways. We have 20 more episodes and workshops to go till the coming Diwali of 2024. Where we probably hope to finish the series. Let's see what we have in store future for us. With this, I'll just stop sharing the screen and over to Sister Anu for the photograph and the Thanksgiving as well. Over to you.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, Brother Manoj. Thanksgiving, yeah, we can't thank enough the divine and this series of workshops and the talks. And for us, it's early morning. That's where the retention is the highest. That's what we heard. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, sister. You bring that real experience that shows from your sharings, and they really inspire us big way. And this is the best occasion to hear it from you on hope, and we'll remember how that question of why blocks everything. That is what takes away everything, and connecting to the divine opens up all the entanglement. So thank you so much for this sharings, and I will definitely invite everybody to revisit, listen to the talk to get some points for our action planning to bring hope. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, sister. And as we always do, we have a virtual photograph we take. So everybody can open your video and we can take the beautiful photograph and keep this memory forever, this moment. So if you want to be in the photograph, please. Nice and beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm done. And now we will carry on for our meditation, closing meditation. Is
Just for clarity, are you wanting me to guide in a meditation?
Whatever
Yeah,
you
that-
want, yes, that would be great. Would you do a guided meditation?
If that's the ask, and for how many minutes?
Yes, Manoj, brother, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. 3 to 5 minutes is okay. Yeah.
Okay. So just relax, take a nice deep breath in and slowly exhale. I remember who I am. I am a light of hope. I am a child of the Supreme Being. And I open my mind and heart to the love of God, allowing that light from God to fill the soul, dispelling any weak thoughts, any doubts or fears, so that every corner of my mind, every room in my heart is filled with light. I am no longer affected by the thoughts of others or the situations in the world. I am no longer under the influence of hopelessness. And this awareness makes me a lamp of hope that influences the world. I send that rays of love and peace out into the atmosphere, beyond the walls, allowing the light of God to shine through this lamp, the lamp of the soul, and I become an instrument of God's light. Giving hope to each and every soul in the world, on the planet. And this love and vision of strength is like a balm for all these souls, a balm that eases and lights the lamp within each and every soul, so that they easily understand themselves and be guided to the light of God. I see every corner of the planet being filled with light. Every being empowered and lit. And the elements vibrating in that pure, a luminous vibration of peace and purity. So that these pure thoughts of hope and love begin to germinate and grow, spreading more and more light. I am light, and my world is filled with light. Victory is guaranteed. And I come back to the awareness of the body and the room where I'm sitting. And I remain that lamp of light and hope and victory. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much for this beautiful experience.
Yeah, thank you so much for very empowering meditation and igniting the light of hope that we are carrying with the new year start and spreading, letting us feel, experience to spread it. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Bye now. See you soon.